Okay, so first off, just tell me your name and your major and why you're running for SGA president.
Okay, my name is Antonio Colon. I am a video game design major, and I'm running for SGA because I've always wanted to be more involved with campus. And I was a senator and didn't have the time for it, and now that I am able to, I guess because of financial burdens lifted, I plan to run and try to be as involved with Towson community as I can to make school a better place.
Mm-hmm. So you started off as a two-person ticket, and now you're down to just yourself. So tell me a little bit about what happened with your vice president candidate.
All right, it's kind of unfortunate, but I guess my vice presidential candidate had, I guess, an informational meeting that he had to attend that he wasn't able to do so, and since he wasn't able to make it up at the deadline, he's been prohibited from running.
So what kind of, do you think that puts you as a disadvantage just running by yourself, or would you kind of prefer it that way and just kind of like running on what you believe and not what your entire ticket believes?
Honestly, I think it actually puts me at a greater disadvantage because it goes now from having a team of 5 to a team of 1. So there's a lot less people I can really reach. But I think it's more important to try than to win. And so regardless of being kind of the underdog, I'm still gonna give it my all.
And so what are some of the things that you would like to do if you were elected SGA president?
Well, my campaign party is called Towson Voice, and the idea behind it is we want to create a stronger voice for the common Towson student to be heard. And our biggest way of implementing this to happen is we'd love to create a website, at the Towson school called, towson.edu/voice, where students would be able to have access to log into this and to kind of post, things changes they'd like to see happen, problems they see with the school, and things that they'd like to see, improved here at Towson. And we essentially want to make it so that anyone can really, have an opinion, and for, Towson school to know, this is what students think. And I think we see a lot of trends and a lot of things that students would like to see happen. I think that the school should listen to these. And so we want SGA to be a stronger, organization towards representing all students rather than just themselves and clubs and organizations.
Okay, and you talked a little bit about how being by yourself puts you at a disadvantage, but did you start out when you first thought that you wanted to run for SGA president, did you start out trying to find a full ticket and it just ended up not working out?
Honestly, I started out just kind of knowing that me personally, I really wanted to do it. And I happened to run across my friend who had this fellow, interest in doing so. So I would have actually been independent, but because I met a good friend who was interested in doing so, I decided to, take him on with my ticket, or my, idea.
I just had a question and I completely forgot.
Sure.
So I know you just mentioned the website. Is there anything else that you think that is important for students to know about what you stand for, or is it really just kind of that idea of students having a voice?
I think another, thing that I'd like to represent is me myself. I'm a commuter. The entire time I've ever attended college, I've always been a commuter, and so part of my ticket's resolve to see happen is we'd like to essentially close the divide between students who live on campus and off campus to kind of make it so that we can develop more school pride. And how we hope to do so is by essentially trying to promote organizations toward doing more open community events and kind of putting more money, more time, more support into these things. Because unfortunately a lot of students who live off campus don't have the ability to really come back to school and to be a part of these things. So we kind of want to change that. And we'd also love to facilitate the creation of a commuter student lounge, because last, semester I was on the executive board of the commuter student organization, and it was kind of a goal that we wanted to see realized, but unfortunately we had too small of a party to really make a difference. So I think from working within SGA I'll be able to greater achieve this goal.
And you said that your previous experience in SGA is being a senator, but a lot of the other candidates are already members of the executive board. What would you kind of say to that? Do you think that just coming from a senator, that might give the executive board a different perspective?
I guess I can understand coming from the inside, kind of looking outward. I think that me being from the outside now, because I know what SGA is like since I was in it, is that I kind of have the perspective of the students who aren't really constantly within SGA, and that I'd love to help, those people feel better heard, be better represented within the organization. Because the way I see it is the problem with kind of the same people sticking within something is they tend to become very like-minded in their ideals, and doesn't really open up a lot of avenues for other students from the outside to be able to feel heard within the organization.
And as you look at SGA now, do you think that there's something that they should be doing now that they're not, anything in particular?
Honestly, I think we have a great student government here, and that, I'm not going to say in particular they're doing anything wrong. I think, everyone in it is trying their best. They're working really hard and doing a great job. But I'd like to see SGA become more of like a student ambassadorship, and for more people, the common student to feel comfortable to come to SGA and to talk to us about like, these things that they want to see happen, changes, problems they have, and for us not to just kind of like try to schedule an appointment, but really to have like someone there to really hear the needs of the students.
Mm-hmm. And since you're running by yourself, if you were to win president, you'd obviously be working with other members of other tickets. So have you kind of reached out to any of the other tickets to kind of just talk about that, if that situation should come about?
I guess since we've had these like early meetings beforehand, kind of meeting the other candidates, I gotta be honest, I've worked with every one of them and I love all of them. Like, that's a lot of great people who are running, a lot of people who are really passionate about making Towson a better place. So regardless of me running against them, I fully support anyone who's working hard to make Towson a better school. And that, if I do win, I look forward to being able to work with anyone else who does win, or even those who don't win, to still have them, come and be on board. So.
Mm-hmm. And then you mentioned that you were a member of the commuter student organization and then a senator as SGA. So are there any other leadership positions that you've held on campus that you would like students to know about?
On campus here at Towson, I have not, but at my community college, I was president of an organization and vice president of the game design club, for anyone who's interested in that.
Was there anything else that you
wanted?
Just
a couple quick follow-ups.
Yes.
So what year were you senator?
I was senator, I believe junior year coming here.
Junior year, so what year was that?
Oh, I think 2011.
2011? Okay, so
yeah.
You've been out of the loop for just a couple years.
Maybe a year or so. I mean, I'm not really too keen on...
So
it's been a while though.
Have you always commuted?
Yes. Okay. Started with community college because I didn't really have the funds to go to a bigger university. And now that I've transferred here, it's kind of hard to get on campus when you're, a person who's transferred. So I've been commuting ever since. Also, I can't even afford to live on campus anyway, even if I did have the ability to.
So as a commuter student, you keep referencing this idea of giving like underrepresented students like a voice. So
yeah.
As a commuter student, how did you feel sort of underrepresented?
I guess, well, let's see. From one thing, being somebody from, going into SGA for the first time, I didn't realize how difficult it would be for me to be like a commuter and to not really live on campus. Because, I've always had a passion for really wanting to make a difference, but I didn't really have the opportunity to be around as much as other people because, I'm paying for my own school, I'm paying for my own living expenses, so I have to work. And so I really felt like kind of disconnected and kind of sad because I really, wanted to be more involved with Towson. And, the way that I felt, I looked into joining the commuter student organization to see like other students who maybe had these same ideals and to see if I could help grow that organization. And so we had, I guess, rebuilt it and, trying to kind of further reach these students from like outside.
How are some of the methods you did? You mentioned trying to open a commuter student lounge. Other than that, are there any initiatives like specifically other than being like an ambassador?
Mm-hmm. I guess a bunch of smaller ones that I can't think off the top of my head because I'm probably a little nervous.
That's okay. You're fine. You can take a couple minutes
sure.
if you need to think about
okay.
it. Other than that, as an outsider too, I don't know why you left SGA in 2011, but as an outsider, what are some of the problems that you've seen just being a normal student among the student body?
Honestly, I think one of the biggest things is that a lot of people, know there's a student government, but a lot of people don't really know, don't really feel like they have access to it, nor do they really know like who represents them within this organization. And that I really want to change that because, student government is a government for students, and that, everyone should kind of feel like, they can be involved and have access to this organization, so that it can help benefit them. And so that's really the biggest problem is that, more students know it exists, but,
How would you plan on making that a little bit more visible?
I know one of the biggest things I'd love to do a lot more like, I guess, personal, open, meetings towards the public for people to really kind of come up to us, maybe just, a table in Freedom Square like every semester where people can approach us, talk, to us about things they have problems with. And another big thing is to have like at least one person within the SGA office always available, to be talked to about, I guess, Towson.
Do you think it's intimidating for a normal student to approach the SGA in any way?
Honestly, I think a lot of people probably do feel a little intimidated because, it's this like organization that seems, with anything government, there's always this like anxiety, for approaching someone who you feel is in a higher standing. And so I want students to really understand that, we're people just like you, and we kind of want to disseminate that belief a little bit.